So I'm going to record this because I think this might be an interesting video to show this workflow. So here's the task that I need to do. I have a bunch of videos that I've recorded, and I would like to extract the content of these videos in order to in order to look for certain. I want to extract out the content of these videos, so I need to transcribe them. And I could go upload them to YouTube and pull the transcription from YouTube, but I actually often do this prior to going to YouTube. And I'm going to use OpenAI to do this, and I just want to show this sort of experimental workflow, something like that. So just watch. So I'm going to run Docker run rmit Python. So this goes and it starts up a Docker container. It's going to remove it whenever I exit. So like when I end from this, the container goes away. There's no trace of it. But I also want to say -v and actually I'm not. So, okay, if I just run this, I can come over here to VS Code and I can say attach to running container. And it's going to look at my containers running on the system, and it says here's a container you can attach to, and it will open up a VS Code attached to that container. So now I'm in a much more useful environment to do some experimentation. Like I almost have like a whole virtual machine running here. So if I look at mount, what I really want to do is mount my C drive, and I forget how to do that. That's what I'm trying to sort of searching for here. So I'm going to close this down, and I need to do -v, and I think if I could do C:/C drive, that might mount it. We'll see. Attached to running container. It's a new container because I closed the old one. Basically, I want to give access to my whole C drive to this container so I can pull files from that. So if I now go to, what's it called? What did I call it? C drive. C drive. I have access to my whole C drive in this container. And what's important here is in users JHA videos, here are all my videos. Now, I can do sudo app update. Oh, I don't need to sudo. I'm already root update. So I'm installing some packages in here. App install ffmpeg. Just says it's going to be really big. That's fine. This is all just temporary disk space. Anyway, as soon as I exit the container, all this goes away. And let me pull in a web browser. Let me just create a new one over here. And OpenAI transcribe Python. So speech to text, this is just the guides telling you how to do it, and here's the code that I want. So I'm going to copy this and start a new file, text file. I'm going to save this in root, that's fine. I'm going to call this transcribe. Now this whole thing, if you remember, this whole container is ephemeral, meaning once I exit this, hit Control D here, it all goes away and all these files are lost. That's actually fine for me for what I'm doing here. So I have ffmpeg installed, And my what I want to do is I'm going to take these last videos that I've created on 522, maybe 521. There's a lot of them. Let's just do 522. Here, there are 4. So write a little script for F in 240522 star do ffmpeg I. We have to quote this because it's got spaces in it. And I want to write that out to root $f.mp3. So I'm converting all of these to MP3 files using ffmpeg. So now let's change this. So our transcribe Python argv, I forget, sysargv, import sys, and this is going to be open sysargv sub 1, and then we transcribe that. Cool. Let's go into our root. This is where our files are and our transcribe. And we're going to pip install OpenAI to be able to pull in the OpenAI module. And if we just run Python transcribe, it's going to say, hey, you don't have your OpenAI key. So let's get an OpenAI key. So I am going to remove this before I'm done, but I can, let's set or export OpenAI API key equal this. And that key will be deleted before the video ever gets posted, so don't worry about that. And so now when I run Python transcribe, it at least connects to OpenAI and it's happy. So if I want to transcribe this, I'm just going to do for audio in star.mp3 do Python transcribe $audio, and we're going to redirect that into $audio.text. And this is just going to cook. It's doing this work here. It's opening the file, uploading that to OpenAI, asking it to transcribe, and it's going to write out a text file for each one of those. I should have put an echo here to where I can see the progress of it. But these files are small enough that they'll transcribe fine in one call. There is a limit to the upload size. If you get into like the hour-long range, you're going to hit that. So I went and got a cup of coffee, and we're back, and we now have 4 audio files that are the transcriptions, which they exist in this container. But I can, well, let's just, I can't open it that way. Let's open file, and let's grab the first one. So there it is. Toggle word wrap. There we go. So this is the transcription of the video. And what I want to do, the work that I was looking to do is to say, we're going to pull in the chat here. Interesting to see what my previous chats are. This was using, I wanted it to explain the deref coercion. asking about what the defined benefit is, doing some Apple Watch stuff, developing for the new GPT-4 API. This is really the new one. Thread pool and channels. Anyway, so now what's the prompt here? So let's just say, given the text below, which is a transcription of a YouTube video I created, look for teaching technology, or look for the video was a walkthrough of a training course. Sometimes I'm frustrated with what is being taught and would prefer to teach it in a different way. Analyze my transcription and give me a complete list of points that I would prefer to teach in a different way. This is to help me create a new training series on Rust. Seems like an okay prompt. Paste in the text and see what it gives me. So threading exercises, the current approach is not effective. Prefer to teach with practical, so that's not useful. Dislike rote exercises that do not illustrate. Okay, that's kind of true. Create a method that jumps into complex topics like Tokyo. Current does prefer more gradual introduction. So I mean, yeah, this is what's going on. Copies data. Yeah, that's fine. Interesting. So like these are, it's looking at that text and doing this transcription, or doing this thing for me. Now, if I wanted to say automate that, let's open AI, Python GPT 4.0, whatever. Let's just see what we get here. Ask about a file. I'm looking for just a simple, I don't want complex. Reviewing code with that. Python API. Could probably ask GPT itself. There we go. This is the thing they want to do, making requests. So this is that. I want to do it through the Python API. This is a streaming version. Let's do this. So if we change our transcribe, let's do this. Text audio file name is going to be sure. So then we write the transcription, and this is the kind of the work that we want to do next. Is we have client. We already have a client, so I want model GPT 4.0. So let's say we're happy with that content or with that prompt. I don't know if we are. Well, let's just say we are. Prompt equals there we go. So that's going to be our prompt. Role user content is prompt. And we need another message. Role user content is that. And then we get the chunks out one by one. Let's just see what how that works on answer file is let's do that sys argv split answer.txt. That's good. We're going to open that and we're going to write that as well as print it. That might work. Let's not writing to there. Let's just put some print transcribing audio file. Sure. Is that what we want? So we're transcribing. So we're here, we're blocking on that. Soon after, we're going to write that to a file. That'll happen nearly instantaneously. We're going to create this chat completions and start reading out the content. So there it is. And we're also writing that to answer.txt. So this is my little assistant that is going through the last hour of video content and telling me what it is that I think, or that it thinks that I was unhappy about in the previous tutorial, that I would like to provide additional content for. And I'm not sure if this prompt is great, but it is at least Fusion Tokyo Taxi move blocks provide clear explanation of how so anyway, certainly can have some better prompt engineering. But some of the point of this perhaps is like one, just being able to create this. This is nice to be able to say, hey, I have an idea. I want to use the API to automate some of the work that I'm doing. To do this sort of by hand is really challenging. And the bigger issue is that if we look at all the videos that I have available, there are potentially say dozens or hundreds of videos, and I would like to be able to turn this into something that is has done that work for me. And so I guess that's the end product of this. But what's really slick, I think, is that I started this up as just a raw Python container and pip installed, or then attached to it with Visual Studio Code. Ran pip install for FFmpeg, did a pip install for OpenAI, and then copy and pasted this code into a code editor that like has, it's a very nice environment to work in, because like I have access to Copilot. I have a full editor with formatting and everything for me. I can save. I'm not using like VI. I mean, VI is great. Not knocking VI. But now I have all of this content. So if I want to look at my content here, let me open folder so that we're attached to this, and I can pull it up in my Explorer here. We have these answers. So this is the answer for what I was interested in teaching for this one for this one thing. Here is what I was wanting to teach for video 2, and so on. So now I can just go to these answers, and it's already it's accumulated that for me. Now, like I mentioned, once I exit out of this and detach from the container, this all goes away. So if I want to make this persistent, then I need to deal with it. I need to somehow have that, be kept around. But it's these answers that are really the useful part of like that's the answer that I want. Everything else is throwaway. Certainly I might want to keep it around. Like maybe I create a Git repo to push this into because this was helpful, and then I can pull it back down. But what is the real thing? It's this. Maybe I just store this in a gist. So I go to where's my so I can come here to gist and transcribe for OpenAI. Create secret gist. So now I have this in one of my gists for GitHub. Like that's the 90% intellectual property that I might want to capture from this. And what else might I say? I don't know. Everything else is probably going to be thrown away. Now, could I create a container for this to store this so I don't have to like recreate this? Absolutely. Like if I'm doing this all the time for videos, like quite often I'll do this. I'll change the prompt to say, and actually, well, I'll change the prompt to say, given the text below is a transcription of this, generate a YouTube title and a YouTube description to drive viewership to this video and to my channel. The description and title should be engaging. I really just want it to be should be accurate to the content of the video. And then like I can go, well, like if we already have the file, so this is where it sort of becomes more useful. If the file doesn't exist, if if not OS path. Yeah. So let's indent this. And then transcription equals, I want to read all. Read the transcription from the file we just wrote. Does that work? Does this, it probably keeps a global scope of variables. Don't like that. So here's our prompt. We could actually just keep the prompt up here because probably need to import OS. Yeah. Then we're going to do the prompt on that file, but only if the answer, so answer file is that, if not OS path exists answer file, and so we're only going to do like this work for when we haven't yet had an answer. The problem with this is going to open this up, and if we break before we're done, we're going to have a partial file. So I think what I want to do is say a cum is this, and then we're going to append content to a cum plus equals that. And this is where we need to then move this down afterwards, pull this over, and write so this way we get the entire answer and then we write it all out. And the purpose of this is so that like I can run this on this again, and okay, so our API key is not there anymore. Let me see if I still have that in some window. Do I? I'm not sure that I do. Oh, that's sad. Okay, it might be there. Okay, so I created a new API key for this. Again, this will be deleted before this video goes out. So when I run this again, open, oh, not set, export. When I run this again, this should just like dump out real quick because everything already exists. So all the files existed. It didn't have to do anything. So like the thing is if we go into drive, C drive, users, JHA, videos, there are some other videos that I did yesterday. So let me look at yesterday's videos, which is going to be 5 for FN 2405, and it should be 21. So I'm going to do this for all videos yesterday. So we're going to do this ffmpeg-i $f into root $f.mp3. And we could actually put that into the transcribe here, but just doing it this way. So this will take a little bit of time. Okay, so those FFmpeg's converted. I changed the prompt to make sure that I'm getting the content that I want. I'm trying to refine it to say that I only want things that are specific to the content I wanted to create. So here's all the MP3 files. So I think I can just do for that. So I'm going to remove all the underscore answer and SWR TXT files so that it reruns on everything except the transcriptions. And so we're just going to do all of that work. So this will take time because we now have, I don't know what, 20 videos or so, but certainly useful as a sort of personal assistant to do a lot of work to help me understand the content that I created and to give me the specific content that I'm looking for. So we're going to let that run. Sort of while it's running, I did update my my private gist to update this file because I do think this is going to be useful for me in the future. I can very easily create up this ephemeral container to do some custom work. So, yeah, that's a really useful tool, I believe. So just as a note, I got an error here because I changed where the transcription came from. The transcription now comes from here, and we actually need to then bump this over into that indent level so we don't overwrite it with something blank. So mistakes that I had, and let's run that again. There we go. So now we're getting new content for whatever that first video was. Nice. So we're just going to let that cook. We'll update the gist that I have here. To do that, you hit edit. I'm just going to paste in the new one, update secret gist, and we're good to go. And we're going to let that cook. So just to round off this video, I'm going to copy these to my drive C or C drive. Users, JHA videos. Now I have them on my drive, and I can really just, at this point, I can close remote connection on here and exit out of Python. That entire development environment's gone away, except, I've kept the gist of my Python, and what I'd actually like to do is to say, well, like that was really useful. It generated good content for me. What are other things out there that will help me? One of them is this thing called Fabric, which it's interesting in the sense that it has certain sort of pre-written prompts for doing assistant sorts of things. And if nothing else, it's perhaps useful as a way to say, here's content, do something with that to generate good answers for that. A project to look at. One of the things I'm more interested in, though, is some of these AI systems that play off of each other. So there's one AI that generates certain things, and then it gives it to another AI to generate secondary content for. And even better is if these two AIs can play off of each other, where one is sort of the it's almost like a yin and yang, the good cop, bad cop, to say to help refine the content to get better and better content. Really interesting types of work that's out there. So yeah, interesting things that are there, and I'm going to stop talking.